Sorry, I just figured I'd blow out everybody's eardrums. So, looks like we got some new subs to the channel last couple of days. Some of these subs that we have are from people that were pretty toxic in our comment section. So, like, do I even want to get into that right now? So today is a rather busy day. I got some stuff that I gotta do today. And, hold on. I just don't even know where to begin. On a number of fronts, like, part of me is annoyed with things. Part of me is just, I don't even know. But we're going to play some Fallout 4. I'm going to yap for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I'm not really sure yet. Yeah, about 2 hours should be fine. Alright, let's see. Really did do a number here, didn't I? What have I done? Like, this point, I just... God, I really was stupid here. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, cool.
No problem.
No, Ada. No. Let's get rid of some of these doors. Alright. Son of a bunion. Alright. Go back to this thing. Go to walls. There we go. Problem solved. Alright. So, Jesus, felony. Christ. The game's falling apart as we speak. Alright. Let's quick save. Let's go here. Quit the game, start the game. Hello, my viewers, and welcome to Tibbs TV. My name is Johnny, and today we're going to play some Fallout 4, while at the same time venting and or yapping about whatever's going on in my life or in the world. I tend to do that a lot, so I figure we'll just make it part of the norm, right, after a point. Today I woke up and I was just frustrated with a number of things. Everything's so freaking expensive nowadays. That is my first real frustration with everything, is that it's not about making money, okay? I'm not saying, give me money. You know, it's not about that, right? What I'm upset about is that everything costs so much. A thing of salt costs $5. A bag of chips costs pretty close to $10, like $8.99. A gallon of orange juice, $10.99. These prices, these are just some of the base prices I've gone over in my head, looking at places in stores, seeing the price changes. Can of tuna, that's like $2, $2.50 now. Which is weird because, like, okay, there's a lot of people in the United States who use food stamps, for example, right? And the big question I have to ask about food stamps is, where are they basing the price off? Because when I used to get food stamps, I don't get food stamps anymore, but regardless, right? When I used to get food stamps, they gave you so little. That was like, what, maybe 6 months ago when they cut me off? When it comes to 6 months ago, the prices aren't too different from now because what in the world's going on over here? He was carrying a Bunsen burner. Oh! Hold on, this giant... Where did it go? It is impossible to multitask for me. Can't aim down sights. Can't aim down sights. Alright, they're all dead.
It's astounding how much we still have to discover out here.
Thank you, Winner. Thank you, Donovan. None of that really matters to me a whole lot, but I appreciate it, I guess. Yeah, prices are weird, and it's like the benefits the government gives you, if you're getting benefits, right, don't make any sense in the long spectrum of things because they just feel so minimal. Let's say you're working a job, though. Oh, it's even worse. They take taxes out of what you earn, which at that point is never worth it. And then they also have these ridiculous prices on everything. And then if you want to go somewhere and do something, it's like always overpriced. Like, let's say you want to go to a theme park. It's like $300. Who has that kind of money nowadays? And then let's say you want to buy some food. Well, I've already kind of gone through it, that it's like ridiculously overpriced. Pack Brahman's dead, so there must have been a caravan around. Prices on everything just sucks. And it's like you can't even save money. So if, let's say you want to get rich. And getting rich partially involves you saving a lot of your money. Just stacking it up, right? How the hell are you supposed to do that? Some people want to make money. And the way this country is run, it's like, unless you're black, you can't get hired anywhere. Like, I've noticed that being a thing. I'm not against black people. I don't hate black people. It's not about hate or animosity. It's just, it's kind of racist that you can be a black guy and get a job on the spot because you're black is DEI. But, like, if you want to get a job as a white man, it's like, they ask impossible things. Let's say you're trying to start out, like you're trying to get your first job. It is impossible. Like, it shouldn't be this hard. Thanks, Grogu. It should not be this hard to make that opportunity happen. You know what I mean? Good morning, John. Hope you're good today. They're trying so hard to make everyone struggle to eat. It's so lame. Yeah, like, it's very difficult to afford to live. People should be able to afford to live. I thought Donald Trump, and I laugh at the Donald Trump thing too. Oh, by the way, if you guys enjoy the video, feel free to drop a like, maybe subscribe, okay? You don't have to if you don't want to, but the option is there if you want to see more content like this. Anyway, I have to laugh at the Donald Trump thing. Now remember that I almost voted for Donald Trump. Almost. The reason why I did not vote is because a bunch of whack jobs decided, well, no. A single whack job said, you're going to vote for Donald Trump, therefore I'm not going to take you to vote, which is funny because I think that enforced my desire to vote for him more. Democrats, me being a Democrat, I mean, I'm a Democrat and almost voted Trump, right? Think about that. Democrats are not doing good nowadays. And I admit that because, mind you, I despise my political party. They're just a-holes. So anyway, Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump's like, we're going to make America great again. We're going to bring back jobs. And when he says he's going to bring back jobs, like, I don't think, oh, factory jobs that are overseas. No, I think of jobs in general because you can't find jobs in general. There are no jobs in the United States. Everything's run, well, unless you're black. Like, I hate to say that because it sounds like racism, okay? No, I'm not being racist, okay? I'm saying if you're black, they will hand you a job, no questions asked, because that's what DEI does. They will hire you just based off your skin color, and then they'll spit all that critical race theory crap, which I guess in a way critical race theory is true, but it's the opposite of what they claim. It's like if you're white, you'll have things handed to you. Then why is it only black people have things handed to them? Like, they didn't earn that job. He didn't deserve it. He sits there on the job and twiddles his thumbs and does nothing all day, waiting for the shift to end because he knows he's getting paid to be there, not to actually work. What about the white guy that actually has a history of trying to make that work happen and actually does work? Like, it's so hypocritical, it's not even funny. But anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm looking for work, and it's like, the jobs are gone, Donald Trump. There are no jobs in the United States right now. Thank you, Grogu. Really appreciate that. Over there making noise with a little toy. Anyway, so I'm just sitting here really trying to figure out why Donald Trump says he's going to bring back jobs when there are no jobs to begin with. Like, any job would be nice at this point. And I'm sick of applying to places, but I'm still trying. It's like, how long can I try before I say, fuck this? Everybody's like, get a job, loser. Trust me, motherfuckers. Trust me, I am trying. Like, I can't put a gun to an employer's head and say, hire me right fucking now. I can't do that. Because that's not how the world works. Plus, you'll probably go to jail for doing that. But they're not going to hire you otherwise because you don't fit their skin color. Like, they have a race. They have a card. They literally must have a card. And if you don't fit the same skin color they're looking for, then they just won't hire you. What the hell is that over there? I see something moving. It looks like a car or something. Oh no, it's Carla. It's just Carla. Yeah, she gets around. I like how the world itself is lived in because the NPCs actually do move around and travel the world space around you. Carla runs everywhere. It's kind of trippy. And that's Carla over there with that Carol. Is Winter going to say hi to Carla? Winter? What are you doing? What are you doing? I thought she was cutting her name in the tree. So I'm like, oh. All right, we'll give her a minute. But yeah, like he's gonna bring back jobs. First of all, when? Second of all, which jobs? The ones we need or the ones that actually aren't around? Ooh, here we go. And then the economy. Don't even get me started about the economy. The economy is complete trash. The economy is complete trash. Because I've never seen prices as bad as they are. Like, it should not be this hard to afford food. It should not be this hard to make ends meet. Like, we're paying, and it's not just food, it's also the actual, the retail market. Or not the retail market, the other problem isn't just the prices of food. It's also the prices of places to live. Everything costs $1,500, it seems like. Oh, that's Ada. I'm already thinking that's some Saltron or something. Yeah, places to live are just as bad. And I don't know why they're charging so much. Like, dude, it makes no sense. Finding a nice place to live nowadays is ass. It's not even about, is your area dangerous to live in? And if it isn't, like, they used to charge it like this, okay? And this is how they used to do it. If a place was safe as far as area, is a decent area, and you had a decent-sized room, you would be charged a considerable amount of money, which I guess, in all honesty, you're paying for safety. That's really what you're paying for. Comfort and safety of your home. Okay, if you live in a gang-infested area or a place with a lot of crime, they would charge a lot less. Because remember, they don't want you to live. They want you to be unalived by the gangbangers that live in your area. That's really what it boils down to, okay? They'll sit there and act like that's not the case, but trust me, we can all read through the lines. Let's see, beer bottles, okay. Now they charge you $4,000 per place just because it exists. The area, everything's the same. You live in a gang-infested area, it's the same as someplace that's not a gang-infested area. I find that to be ridiculous. So finding a place to live half the time, or a better place to live, like let's say you want to be closer to work opportunities, it is ass. Because everything costs a disgusting amount of money. Most landlords should be ashamed of the prices they charge. Most should. There's a few people that have reasonable prices, but then you notice that a lot of the time there's things like there's new options coming onto the market, and it's just they aren't good. Because basically you have to have 15 roommates, and you have to live in an environment where basically everyone's a drug addict or a criminal pawn scum. That tends to be the general theme these days. Let's see, 12 minutes, ads. Still am actually, but anyways. And then he's doing that. Okay. Just reading off comments because I try to give everybody a voice, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, the price of realty is heavily overpriced. Food is heavily overpriced. I thought Donald Trump was going to make the economy better. Like when Biden butt fucked the economy with all that money he threw at Ukraine, right? Because we're broke as a country, right? Which also, that makes no sense. You butt fuck the economy by giving all of our money to Ukraine, right? Why are they charging more? If you have less money going around, shouldn't you be charging less? Like, this excuse that, oh, it's inflation is one of the dumbest things I've ever... Can someone explain it to me? I'm genuinely asking someone to come into my live chat or into my comment section and explain this entire thing. Why? How does inflation work? Because, in my personal opinion, it doesn't make sense. If there's less money in your country and less money going around, you would think that there would be less per charge, like things would cost less. Is it because it's high demand? Well, then that's not inflation. That's just people being greedy, making a profit off people that can't afford anything. Like, that's really messed up, because then you're taking advantage of people's ability, or inability for that matter, to survive. And I don't understand why the world is that way. The problem with the rise of rent prices is not like the property itself is being improved at all. It's just becoming more expensive for no fucking reason. Yeah, and that's my issue with it. Like, I have to deal with being doxxed, and the whole purpose of doxing people is to try to get them to become homeless. And when that happens, VATs and VAS, that's interesting. Let's do that one first. Okay, so it's not fast. The problem with that is that I have to constantly worry about where I'm going to live because people suck. That's really what it boils down to, by the way. And then I have to go around looking for a million different places, and you have to live in a homeless shelter for X amount of time because somebody decided to be a cunt on the internet. Which we'll talk about that in a minute because we're going to have to. There's a hilarious new roundabout going on within the troll communities. He who must not be named is apparently resurfacing on YouTube because he's like, I'm going to go harass Tibbs. I'm bored with Rumble. You know, let's talk about that for a minute. So Mark's the Noob has resurfaced on YouTube. I'm pretty sure Elias shared his channel. I saw his channels in my comment section, so I sent it to Elias, and he picked it up immediately. And it's definitely him because the way he was cussing, calling me an FGT, and etc. Marks is like, I'm going to go to JD, and I'm going to tell him all these things that we said about you previously. Marks, you had to threaten Brandy for those things to be even put on the internet in the first place. Like, okay, I'm going to pause this for a second. So there was a moment where I had some friends. Brandy was her name. And this guy named Marks the Noob, or Marks T. Nubinson, or Marks Newbert, whoever he goes by. It's always something of the sort, right? He decides he's going to target Brandy because she was associated with me. And they worked out a deal that Brandy was going to lie on stream and spread misinformation about me to make me more hated on behalf of Marks the Noob. And Marks the Noob likes to go around and try to share that everybody saying, look guys, he's a pedo because she says you had to threaten her with rape, murder, and the potential possibility of giving back her house that you cost her. He made her homeless, and he's like, I'll help you pay for your house again if you do this for me. Everyone ever wonder why Brandy's no longer in the picture? Because she didn't want to help that fucking idiot, right? And so now he's like, I'm going to go tell JD. Okay, Marks. And Marks, if you see this, because I know he's always watching. That motherfucker is always watching, okay? He is... she who must not be named said that he gives off obsessed girlfriend vibes. Obsessed ex-girlfriend vibes. Because the guy is constantly trying to, like... The guy's obsessed with me. And it's becoming obvious that it's something sexual because it's always, if I can't have Tibbs, no one can. You're a fucking man. I'm a man, and I'm not gay like you, Marks, okay? Like, take a fucking hint. Jesus Christ, like the destructive slander and defamation, all because you can't get in my you can't bounce on my dick. Because that's what it's looking like after this long, the weird obsession, it's very obvious. He went to Rumble because he got chased off YouTube by half the Cyrus community because he was a diddler, right? Like, I don't even know how else to say it, right? And so he's like, I'm bored. I'm going to go after Tibbs. I'm going to go out and tell Jay Delay because I want to start up some drama and I want to go around and spread the lie again. Okay, first of all, everyone knows that video was bullshit. Everyone does at this point. That's why no one cared. Everyone in my fan base knows about it. Everyone in their area knows about it. The Cyrus Troll community knows about it. So at this point, I'm not worried about JD's community seeing it. Really not. But here's the thing. If JD and his community didn't care about what I had to say about Predators, what the fuck makes you think they're going to care about what you have to say potentially? Honestly. This is why I think it's retarded. Like, he needs to take a hint. I'm not interested. I'm not. The guy is a fucking whack job. Speaking of Marks, right? Marks T. Lolcow says, what's up, Tibbs and chat? How you doing, bro? This one is not him. This one's the one that makes fun of him. One of our allies, I guess. But Marks the Noob's over here like, I'm going to go to JD and I'm going to tell him all this. I'm like, first of all, JD doesn't give a shit. JD's a reactionary YouTuber. In fact, he's being called out as fake by a lot of people I've noticed. Somebody sent me channel names and links to other people that have been called out JD as being fake. Now, I'm done with JD. My last video was, I think, last night around like 11 p.m. or something like that. 10 p.m., 1 p.m., 1 a.m., I don't remember. It was last night, right? That's my last video on JD. I have nothing else to say about him. I think he's fake, but beyond, and I think his community is trash, but beyond that, I have nothing more to say. It's just whatever at this point, right? I have other people who are willing to step in and look into this whole situation. Beyond that, I don't care. Let's see. Marks is a drug-infested degenerate that lives on the internet. Yeah, and I mean, he's over here like, I'm going to go to JD now. You're only doing that because we had beef with JD for 5 seconds. That's the only reason why. And so he's like, I'm going to go to JD and let him know that you're a sicko. Like, Marks, you call me a sicko because I won't bounce on because you can't bounce on my dick. And literally, that is what it has been. Everyone is noticing that Marks is a pedophile because he was willing to do that to a kid at one point. But he's also, like, the obsession is clearly he wants to bounce on my dick. I'm not into guys. And Marks needs to get that through his skull. It's literally April 23 all over again. Except this time, it's not a woman, it's a gay man. Why is it all these trolls want to bounce on my dick so fucking bad? Like, I hate to be vulgar, but, like, that's literally what this is. If you want to bounce on my dick, the answer is no. Okay? I come to YouTube to play video games and talk about what's going on in the world to some extent. I don't come here to meet wacko gay trolls. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, they're like, I want to bounce on that dick, please. Like, it's so obvious Marks is gay. He's like, but I date women. Okay, fine. He dates women too, so he's bisexual. Same fucking whoop. Like, I can't stand the bullshit. Like, it's so annoying. But yeah, because of that guy, we've had to face numerous amounts of doxing, right? And what I find irritating about that is, it's not normal for someone to focus so much time on somebody that you want to harass them and target and destroy their personal life. At that point, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I'm like, the prices of actual realty is heavily overpriced. Because if I'm going to deal with this bullshit in this day and age, can we fix one of the problems? Either make realty cost less, or Marks, go the fuck away. I'm not interested in being around you. And it's like, she who must not be named also stated that he's like a real serious fan in denial, because you don't go around and find out everything you can about somebody and then act like a bitch when they reject you unless you're a fan. Like, how did JD's community put it? It's a real big Stan moment. Like, it really is. Like, I just can't even. Like, it's just ridiculous. I guess we'll eat these. And I can be able to plant them anyway. Let's see. Surfboard company ad. Oh, yeah? My dad was a surfer. Maybe that's a sign. Anyway. Yeah, I think the prices of everything is heavily overpriced. Donald Trump is doing a shitty job as president. Like, he's doing the shittiest job. He's worse than Biden at this point because Biden didn't ruin the economy till a couple of years in. I would know. I lived in that economy. Trump ruined it within 6 months because a bag of Doritos a party-sized bag of Doritos used to cost $6.99. Now it's $8.99. A gallon of orange. No, actually, I'm wrong. It was $4.99 for a party-sized bag of Doritos, and a gallon of orange juice used to be $6.99. Gallon of orange juice was $6.99. Now a gallon of orange juice is $10.99. That's a $4 increase on orange juice alone. And I know, it's just orange juice. Get the fuck over it, Tibbs. It's just OJ. You don't need orange juice that bad. Well, okay. It's not that I need orange juice. It's the principle. It's a $4 increase on that price alone. Because I've been going to the same stores for the last 5 years. And, look, I don't like Biden. I think Biden's a retard, if you want my honest opinion. Kamala is just as retarded, okay? But, like, at least Biden didn't have us paying $10.99 on fucking orange juice. Is it because of tariffs? Is the orange juice imported? It's not. Okay. If you go to Walmart, Myers, Target, what's that other one? That one that starts with a K that's all over Michigan. I don't remember. Anyway, if you go to recreational grocery stores, the big places, right? Orange juice should not be increased in price by $4. That is insane. And Donald Trump's like, I'm gonna make America great again. America is a pile of shit. The only people benefiting are the rich. And you know what's funny is, if you want to get rich, you can't, because you can't save. Everything costs so damn much. It's like, how is America great? You have a bunch of a-holes in charge that are overpricing everything, and everybody down the bottom here is just having to fucking struggle. And I know I'm not the only one. This country is ass. It was okay. Under Biden, it was kind of, Like, think about it. Really think about it. Under Biden's America, the LGBT wants to treat everybody like crap. All they want to do is get close to your kids and diddle nonstop. That's all that they were doing. That's why Antifa is so pressuring people into allowing it. Under Trump's America, we don't have to deal with that, but now we have to deal with the fact that it's impossible to survive. But see, here's the problem. Here is the $1 million problem, okay? The prices wouldn't be so bad if people hired people that weren't just black people. Black people are raking in dough. So really, there is still DEI in this country, right? If they were hiring more than just black people, like starting jobs. Let's say you want to work at Target, for example. Pretty basic example, right? You could get a starting job as a cart pusher. The people who push the carts around, put them back where they belong, clean at the parking lots, whatever. Recreational starting job, right? Cashier, whatever. There's a lot of starting jobs at Target. Any store for that matter, right? Kroger's the one I was thinking of, by the way. But let's say you want to get a starting job somewhere. You can't. They will not give you a starting job unless you have 15 years of management and you have, you can't be white, straight, and male. When they ask you if you're gay, you say yes. They'll hire you quicker, it turns out. Why can't I say that I'm gay just to get hired, knowing it's a lie? Because I'm homophobic. By saying yes in that paperwork, I think that somehow it turns me gay. So I can't say yes even to lie about it. I know, it's fucked up, right? Pissed off about this bullshit in this country. I've noticed that. If you're gay, hired immediately. If you're black, get hired immediately. If you're a woman, get hired immediately. You cannot be white, straight, and male. But imagine if you were a black, lesbian woman. Oh my God, you become a manager within 2 minutes. And you just got... Like, it is such ridiculous horseshit. I thought Trump got rid of DEI. Why is it still a thing? Everybody's like being super picky about who they hire, too. It's like, God damn, man, this country's dog shit. But you can't say that. This is America. Get your fucking ass out of your ass. No, that's another thing, too. People get super butthurt when you criticize anybody. Like, I criticized JD Delay a couple days ago, right? Oh, my God! Oh, no, please, God. Jesus, that scared the... I know if he hits me with that metal hammer thingy, I'm done for. That legit actually scared me. Just
be careful. I hear super mutants like to experiment.
I've never lost anyone before.
don't worry about human. Don't worry about winter. They're not gonna do anything.
Components, sir.
Okay, I guess we'll go to Fred.
Do I look like I have
All right,
time for
Donovan.
idle chat?
Thank you, Donovan. At least Donovan's willing to carry my shit. This game is absolutely ridiculous sometimes. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the economy is trash. The prices of everything is trash. The way people act is trash. The hiring process is trash. And at this point, I'm really losing the motivation to keep trying. Like, I have to get harassed online by some of the douches. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about criticism. JD Delay's community got so butthurt that I criticized JD. There's another guy, Phantom Ghostwalker, I think is his name. Something like that. He criticized JD. He called out a lot of things. It turns out JD never went to Oregon prison. This guy actually lined it all up and made it all make sense. JD lied about going to Oregon prison.
We may have some trouble.
And then the whole, I guess, beef that he had with JD ended because he realized, and he said this publicly, that JD's an entertainment YouTuber, which means it's all lies, it's all deception, but it's meant to entertain, it's not real. And so, after that, he never covered him again. I don't know if JD's audience is still going apeshit in his comment section, but his videos blew up because apparently JD's audience can't shut their fucking mouth. Like, those people are wackos. I mean, they came in here and they called me a pedo just for dumping on JD's bullshit. And JD does give a lot of bullshit. Like, you're gonna start lying about people and defaming people just because apparently they talk shit about your hero? Like, his audience is such trash, man. But, like, that's the thing. It's the same way with America. If you even remotely have a criticism of America as an American, they're like, you're a communist, you're a pedo, you're a liberal. I'm like, somehow liberals aren't American. I'm like, that's funny to me, actually. But I'm like, you know, people fucking suck. I normally avoid answering that section of this application, but maybe I should be more loud and proud that I'm bi, says D-Chat. Maybe. JD's a wannabe alpha. Yeah, he comes off that way. Like, I had, my last video was last night. If you guys want to go watch the last thing I ever have to say about JD and his dog shit community. JD's, okay, so I'm going to talk about it just because, I mean, the video's there, but, I mean, still go watch it because the video itself, I showcase the first time we interacted, and I have the date in which it happened. I found the date. It was actually 9 months, not 10 months, but close enough, right? If we're being honest here. And then I show the, what was it? Then I show the evidence that I was trying to show him because he's all about stopping predators. And there was audio, pictures, all kinds of shit, right? And then I show his response, which was yesterday, apparently. And then I have my response to his final response. And I'm not sure if it's the final one, maybe... JD's... Okay, the first thing about JD's response was his excuse was dumb. The dumbest fucking excuse I've ever heard. I didn't get back to you. I didn't respond to your messages because I got too busy. When I wake up until the moment I lay down, I'm working. Yeah, you were working, talking shit about how you want to stop pedos all the time. You're a life coach. He's like, and then he's like, this guy needs to get help. He kept saying how I needed to get help. He used the name Echelon Prime. But he's like, Echelon Prime really should go get some help. You're a life coach, JD. I went to you for help. Are you telling me you can't do what you say your job is? And you said he said he'd help. Like, at this point, it's whatever. I don't even care anymore. But the fucking loser was like, and he is a loser because I've never met a more trash human being in all my life, right? I mean, we did technically meet. I mean, it was on the internet, but we still met, right? He's over here like, yeah, dude, I'll totally help you out. And then also, JD, I can't help you out. I'm too busy. Doing what? Being a life coach? You're doing a bang-up job at that. So that was the other thing. Like, I find it stupid. Okay, disarm the grenade. Oh, shit. I heard a trigger. So yeah, he's all about how I need to get help. Why do you think I went to you, JD? Because you were supposed to help me. You said you would. I'm like, I'm not delusional of that. Like, that was the issue, right? I watched him before your interaction. He's a fraud. Yeah, a lot of people are calling him out as a fraud. A lot of people. Like, in the comment section of that video alone, people are, like, telling... There's actually people in that comment section who know he's a pile of shit saying, you guys should not be calling Tibbs a pedo just because he disagrees with JD. That's slander. That's defamation. That's wrong. I'm glad people have common sense. And to those people, I respect you 100% because at least somebody has a brain, right?
Diagnostic complete.
You don't run to pedo accusations because someone disagreed with you. Oh, he criticized a big YouTuber that we all watch. We should call him a pedo just to shut him down. Like, that's some retarded bullshit. It really is. And those people deserve to be unalived simply for even doing that because you could destroy a life. And they'll never face consequences. One guy was talking about offing me. One guy actually talked about offing me. So I told him, you ever come down to my area, I'm going to put 2 in your skull. I'm not going to take death threats. I'm not. Someone wants to threaten me with death, I'm going to fucking threaten them right back. Because you know what the police will say? It's mutual. Therefore, it's not something you can complain about. That's simply a reality. That's why there was a post yesterday about a guy. I called him the biggest FAG on the internet. That's what that post was. I removed it because at this point, the beef is over. I don't need to keep going. But, like, apparently, that guy wanted to threaten me. And so I insulted him. I mean, his name is The Reckoning. He had a channel that was actually hacked on YouTube. Like, it had to have been, because he said there was a video that was apparently made in 1969, but YouTube didn't exist in 1969. So how do you stream on YouTube in 1969? And it wasn't like, when you push reload nonstop, it's still there. I gotta figure out how he did that. Because I don't know, I don't want to do it myself, you know what I mean? Like, I would ask him, but the guy wanted to threaten me with homicide because apparently I talk shit about JD. Like, fucking people are garbage on the internet. I've met so many trash people. Where was I going with this? Yeah, JD's community is dog shit, and so my response to the whole I need to get help thing is, I went to you for help, JD, because you said you'd be the one to help me. So don't tell me I need to get help. Honestly. Because if I'm trying to ask you for help and you say you'll help, I've already was trying to get help. From you, JD. That was the reality, right? So I'm like, whatever. And then, what was the last thing that I noted on that video? Oh, yeah. He's like, JD's like, I have no malice for him. You know why JD has no malice for me? Because he knows that I'm right. You can't have malice for somebody if they got a fucking point. And JD's over here just acting like a douchebag with his community. It's whatever. I don't have no malice either. I think at this point, considering other people said, we'll do what JD can't do, that's good enough for me, you know? Like, I'm not going to sit here and bitch about JD for the rest of my life. But yeah, that was the video that I posted last night. And it's more, I call it a documentary because it kind of documents the entire situation. And if people want to know the whole situation of what actually was going on between me and JD Delay, now you know. I mean, not everybody wants to know, don't get me wrong. You're fine, Donovan. But, like, you know, if people want to know, that video kind of sums up the entire thing. And then my thoughts are, I don't think I'm going to make another video about JD. I mean, I'm talking about it now, but that's because it came up, right? But, like, his community needs to be smacked upside the head because they act like fools. But beyond that, it's just not worth my time, you know? So I'm going to reach out to some other people, and we'll figure things out from after a point, I guess. Although I find it funny that Mark's like, I'm gonna go to him now and do the exact same thing you tried to do, Tibbs. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Adolf says this is why you need to plan for winter in case something happens. No, I think I'll be fine. At this point, they don't know where I live, and it's been very obvious they can't figure it out. So at this point, I should be fine. But at the same time, it's like I do need to figure out how to stack up money. I mean, you can't plan for anything if you don't have money coming in. And I'm spending like $1,100 on rent. That's how much I'm spending. I'm also paying on loans that I owe. Because apparently Brandy wanted a loan way back in the day. I'm still paying that fucking thing off. Where's Brandy now to help out like she said she would? Gone. She split. She doesn't have to do anything about it. She doesn't have to help. Because that's what women do when they feel like they can use a guy for his money. That's the problem with women. It's like, we want his money. But it comes down to it, we're not going to be there for him. We were just friends. If we're being completely 100% transparent with it. We were just friends. We were just friends, right? But we were friends that helped each other out at one point. And now I'm the one having to clean up the mess. I'm never going to help anyone ever again. Like, people are like, why don't you want to stop predators? The only reason, like, if I'm being transparent here, right? If I'm being real, if I'm being honest, the only reason I want to watch Rank Patrol burn is because they destroyed my life. With slander, defamation, stalking, and constant harassment. Because, oh, but we're just trolling you. No, you're a bunch of degenerates that deserve to be burned at the stake. They destroyed a giant chunk of my life with the things that they had done. That's why I want to stop them. It's not about exposing predators. It's about exposing scumbags that ruined a giant chunk of my life. And at that point, I mean, it is personal. It is personal. But, like, beyond that, I don't want to help nobody. Why would I help anybody? A lot of people would benefit from these people being held accountable. A lot of people want to see rank material fry at the stake. They really do. But I'm not doing it for anybody but myself. Call it selfish. I mean, I don't care about the kids that are getting victimized by rank material. You know why? Because at the end of the day, there's not much we can really do about it. There really isn't. Maybe predator poachers can do something about it. But, like, personally, I've been dealing with this stuff for, like, what, 2 years now? 2 years. I think after a point, it's kind of obvious that I got other things I could waste my time on. 3 years is long enough. Actually, was it 3 years since meeting Cinemas and Chad, and then 2 years since meeting Marks? And Marks only did all things he did because he wanted to bounce on my dick. Like, Marks wants to bounce on my dick because he is hyper obsessed. It's not even about exposing anyone. He just wants the attention from me. He's like, well, I don't want you to reject me, Tibbs, please. For the first 2 years of this whole Marks the Noob situation, you call him Marks Newbert, call him Marks T. Nubinson, whatever you want to call him, right? For the first 2 years, he was obsessed with being in my chats. He was like, I want to be here, Tibbs. I mean, we can get along. All we have to do is try to see on the same page. I'm not a bad guy, Tibbs. You have to understand. Give me the benefit of the doubt. Like, he kept trying to explain that he was making jokes just to make me laugh. He was talking about raping and diddling kids. That's not funny. I don't want to be around that, and especially when I'm pissed at April, not even a year prior, for admitting that she was doing the same shit. Like, I can't be around that shit. So Marks is like, well, we just try to understand, Tibbs, and he would try to constantly get into my pants. Like, he's gay. Well, he's probably bisexual, but he is obsessed with me. And, like, the last couple of years fully prove that. It's like, the guy cannot get Tibbs off the brain. I've never met a guy horny for another guy ever before in my life. Like, to this level. And so I'm over here just trying to figure out how to ignore him, because at the end of the day, I can't do very much about it. I can't go and... What in the hell is going on over here?
Like you could use a little pick-me-up. Am I right?
Let's barter.
Exactly what you need.
So anyway, to make a long story short, I've been dealing with this whole BS thing for so long. It's like, after a while, I would think that people would want to move on, get a life, whatever else. They just haven't really seemed to want to. Like, the guy is completely obsessed, and it makes it very difficult to move away from all that. But can someone explain to that moron that I'm not interested? Like, I get it, but no means no.
These are for you.
God damn it, Donovan. I need you to give me your inventory.
Is there something I can help you with?
Never mind.
No problem.
Alright. I hate that. They're like, let me hand you something, and then you can't activate them anymore. They're like, do we want to be dismissed? That should be in the talk menu. The talk menu. I love the Wintermute mod. It's a great companion app, but like, for some stupid reason, it does that. Where if they hand you something, they have to ask you if you want to dismiss them or change the protocols. Like, I just want to trade with you so I can get my stuff back.
Opening fire.
Oh, that was quick. That was a really quick turnaround. Anyway. Yeah, I think today is one of those days where I'm just frustrated about the economy, frustrated about the lack of work options out there. Odd jobs are good, but like at the end of the day, I think he just pissed he threw the cat. Don't do that again, says Adolf. And then Adolf got banned. I never threw the cat. Actually, we have on audio Mark's admitting that he lied about all of that. Nobody ever wants to listen to that because they're like, we only care about what he said. Like, why do you care about is it because he's bisexual? So unless you're bisexual or gay, no one's ever going to listen to you. I'm not going to undo the ban at this point. Like, at this point, I'll wait a few days. Don't feel like dealing with that shit, 'cause that's slander and misinformation. I'm not putting up with that. So, looks like you lost your voice here for a bit. I would have timed him out personally, but still, whatever. Now, the cat thing also pissed me off. Like, he lied about the cat because that was the first lie that Mark's Noob spread to try and get people to hate me because he was mad he couldn't bounce on my dick. Mark's Noob's like, if I can't have Tibbs, nobody can. So I'm going to make everybody hate him. And the first thing that he did was try to convince everybody that I threw a cat when I didn't. I'm not sure what to do with this thing. And then when the cat stuff didn't work, then he tried to resort to pedo shit. And that's why he says what he does. That's why they planted all that evidence and tried to stage a bunch of bullshit. That's why they threatened Brandy and Amanda into reading from a script. Like, yeah, I've watched the Amanda video. I've watched it. It's disgusting. But, like, the whole time they're laughing and joking. Like, if you're serious about the things you say, it shouldn't be so humorous to you. I mean, it shouldn't be a humorous joke. And then Amanda's like, the whole time you can tell she's not wanting to be there. If you listen to the actual video, if you watch the Amanda testimonies, you can tell she did not want to be there. She did not want to do what they were saying. They're all trying to egg her on. And mind you, she was a minor when they did that. It's weird that they did not want her father anywhere near it, too. Like a bunch of people that have accusations and a history of endorsing and promoting pedophilia are trying to make sure the parent is nowhere near involved. They completely groomed Amanda for the longest time. Which is whatever at this point. Like, I don't think that's okay. That's fucked up. But then they're like, Amanda called you a diddler because, you know, it's on our streams. Yeah, but you had to harass her. They didn't just harass Brandy. They harassed everyone in that family. They shared around all their emails, their phone numbers, their address. They drove past their house on numerous occasions. I still have the videos from when they drove past their house. And what's really effed up about it is that they somehow think that people are just going to jump on that bandwagon. No, when they lie about me, I show them the rest of the story. And they're like, that's why people don't really jump on it anymore. They're like, Tibbs isn't a pedo. That girl lied because you forced her to lie. People ran out of options. They got desperate. And that's why Amanda and Brandy aren't around no more. Because after they did their little lie, they jumped ship. They left. Because they knew this wasn't going to stick. And then Brandy became a drug addict. That has been public information for about 6 months now. And then Amanda just outright disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to her. She could be dead for all we know. Which is fine. At this point, I could care less. She was a psychotic.
Can you see them? Found the target again.
Another super mutant. She was kind of a psychotic cunt. Not exactly a decent person. Do I want her to be dead? No. She wasn't that bad. She was bad, but she wasn't that bad. But, like, still at the same time, like, some of that behavior was just unacceptable. And every time her father tried to discipline her, she would throw shit at him and everything else. Like, at this point, Amanda was a terrible human being. But from what I hear, Amanda is also a drug addict now. I mean, there's rumors going on that nobody knows for sure, right? But from what I hear, she's a drug addict now. No one knows. There's no way to confirm it. Because she completely vanished without a trace probably about 6 months ago. Same with Brandy. Well, 4 or 5 months ago maybe actually, but still. No, it was probably about 6 months ago actually. It probably was about 6 months ago. And I laugh at that shit because they're like, this is our greatest witness and our greatest asset of all of our information. You had to threaten them for over a year. They found out where they lived because April 23 handed it to them. Because April 23 is like, Antifa, target this family because they're talking about me and what I'm doing with kids. I'm like, well, April. It's funny that they actually called April out, but then they backtracked because they realized that it was proof they were helping predators. So then they tried to say, oh, April was never like that. She was 19 and she was 17. No, April was 23 and she was 16, and they were fucking. They were actually doing the dirty. That's called pedophilia. And for some stupid fucking reason, they were defending that. They're like, oh, it's okay. When the age lie, when the 19 lied. See, okay, if she was really 19, why does her birth record say that she was born in 1998, which would mean she was 23 at the time, right? So when that lie didn't work, then they're like, oh, there was consent. Age consent makes it okay to diddle kids. If the kid consents. Well, according to age consent laws, if the parent is present and they say no, the answer is fucking no. And then, if you think about it, they were very eager to remove her father from the picture so that she could be diddled. Like, the sexual predatory bullshit of this predator group, rank material, was unfucking real. And what I find to be irritating about it is, Marks jumps on that bandwagon because if I can't have Tibbs, nobody can. Like, that's the gayest shit I've ever seen. Like, dude, I'm not interested in you. I don't want you bouncing on my dick. I don't want my dick covered. I don't want to be a shit fucker. What's a shit fucker? A guy who lays pipe into another man's ass. I don't want to be like JD DeLay.
We could really use your help.
What the fuck do you want? What do you need?
Something nasty's living just around the corner from here. It's only a matter of time before there's some real trouble. What's really too bad is it'd be a nice spot for a new settlement. In fact, I know some folks that'd love to set up there if it was safe. If you could make sure the old workshop there is still in one piece, anyone who decides to move in later will be able to rebuild.
Sure, whatever.
I hope so. We didn't know what to do.
So what you're saying is, I can ally to this settlement by opening up that settlement? 2-for-1 deal? Alright. Fine. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but... The Slog, Brocart Banks... Hold on. Clearing the way for Greentop Nursery. Where the fuck is it at? Oh, this is Greentop. This is Greentown Nursery. They want us to secure that one all the way over there by, fucking retarded. This is fucking stupid. Let's see. She sounded like she was being coached to lie. Yeah, she was. And that's why I'm not worried about that stream. I'm not worried about that testimony. I'm not worried about it because, like, it's so obvious. If you have a brain that is not hell-bent on misinformation and trolling people, right? And these, oh, by the way, the best part about the Amanda testimony stream is it's being